Welcome to OWLCEO Academy, where we break down the ideas, strategies, and principles behind successful businesses and smart investing. Let's begin. There are two kinds of people in this world: those who believe money changes people, and those who understand money only reveals who they already are. Imagine two friends. They grow up in the same neighborhood, attend the same school, earn similar salaries, and begin adulthood with nearly identical opportunities. 20 years later, one owns businesses, investments, and financial freedom. The other is trapped by debt, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering why success never arrived. What happened? It wasn't luck. It wasn't intelligence. And it certainly wasn't because one worked harder than the other. The answer lies in something far more powerful than income. It lies in psychology. Money is not just numbers in a bank account. It is emotion. It is patience. It is discipline. Every financial decision is influenced by habits that are often invisible. The richest people in history understood that building wealth isn't about making one perfect investment. It's about making hundreds of wise decisions while avoiding the mistakes that quietly destroy fortunes. Think of wealth as a kingdom. Every dollar you save is another brick in its walls. Every careless decision weakens the foundation. The tragedy is that most people don't lose because they lack opportunity. They lose because they never recognize the enemies already inside the gates. And the scariest part: most of these enemies don't look dangerous at all. In fact, they often feel normal, comfortable, even rewarding in the moment. That's why they're so powerful. They don't attack your money directly. They slowly change your behavior until poor financial decisions feel like a lifestyle instead of a mistake. Today, we'll uncover 10 financial mistakes that silently keep millions of people from building wealth. These aren't dramatic mistakes that happen overnight. They're small choices repeated every day until they become a lifestyle. And if you think wealth is only about earning more, you're already missing the point. Because many high-income earners are still broke, not because they don't make enough, but because they never learned how to think about money correctly. If you recognize yourself in some of these habits, don't see it as failure. See it as an opportunity. Awareness is the first investment that pays the highest return, because once you see the pattern, you can break it. And once you break it, your entire financial future changes. Let's begin. Mistake number 1: lifestyle inflation. The moment income increases, many people immediately increase spending. A larger paycheck becomes a larger house, a newer car, more expensive clothes, and more unnecessary luxuries. Instead of building assets, they build bigger bills. Wealth grows when your income rises faster than your lifestyle. And the danger is, it doesn't feel like a mistake in the moment. It feels like you deserve it. You finally got a raise, so you upgrade your phone. You get a better job, so you move into a more expensive apartment. But slowly, your expenses start chasing your income. And no matter how much you earn, you never feel ahead. Real financial progress happens when you resist that pressure and keep your lifestyle stable while your income grows. Mistake number 2: ignoring compound interest. Compound interest is often called the eighth wonder of the world because it rewards patience. Every year you delay investing is a year you can never recover. Time is the investor's greatest ally, yet most people waste it believing they'll start tomorrow. What makes compound interest powerful is not just money, it's time working with money. Even small amounts invested early can outperform large amounts invested late, but most people underestimate this because the results are not immediate. They want fast rewards, not slow growth. And so they wait and wait until decades have passed and they realize time was the real opportunity. Mistake number 3: buying liabilities instead of assets. Many people celebrate purchases that quietly drain their wallets. Expensive gadgets lose value. Luxury items demand maintenance. Assets, on the other hand, generate income or appreciate over time. Every purchase should answer one question: will this make me richer or poorer 5 years from now? The problem is, society often confuses status with success. A car looks like success. A designer outfit feels like success, but if it doesn't produce income, it is not building wealth. Wealthy people focus less on impressing others and more on owning things that work for them even when they are not working. Mistake number 4: emotional spending. Stress, boredom, excitement, and social pressure often lead people to spend money they never planned to spend. Advertisers understand psychology better than consumers understand themselves. Every unnecessary purchase begins as an emotion disguised as a need. Think about it. How many times have you bought something just to feel better for a moment? A bad day turns into online shopping. A celebration turns into overspending. But emotions fade quickly, while financial consequences stay. Learning to pause before spending is one of the most powerful financial habits you can build. Mistake number 5: living without a budget. Imagine captaining a ship without a map. That's exactly how many people manage money. A budget isn't a prison. It's a blueprint that tells every dollar where it should go before temptation decides for you. Without a budget, money disappears quietly. You don't see where it went, you just know it's gone. But with a budget, you gain control. You assign purpose to your income. You decide what matters most instead of reacting to every impulse. And over time, that structure creates financial clarity and confidence. Mistake number 6, depending on a single source of income. One paycheck may provide comfort today, but it also creates vulnerability. Businesses fail. Companies downsize, economies change. Financial resilience comes from multiple streams of income that continue working even when one disappears. Relying on one income is like standing on one leg. You might stay up for a while, but it only takes one push to fall. Multiple income streams don't have to be complicated. They can start small, but they create stability. And stability is what allows long-term wealth to grow without fear. Mistake number 7, avoiding financial education. Schools teach many valuable subjects, but few teach how money truly works. Those who stop learning after graduation often spend decades repeating the same financial mistakes. Books, business biographies, annual reports, and investment knowledge can produce returns that no paycheck alone can match. Financial education is not about becoming an expert overnight. It's about understanding enough to make better decisions. Because when you understand money, you stop being controlled by it. Instead, you start directing it. Mistake number 8, trying to look rich instead of becoming rich. Many people buy expensive symbols of success before building actual wealth. True wealth is often invisible. Investments don't attract attention. Savings accounts don't impress strangers, but they create freedom. The truly wealthy seek independence, not applause. Looking rich is temporary. Becoming rich is structural. One is about perception, the other is about reality. And often the people who look the richest are the ones under the most financial pressure. Mistake number 9, fear of investing. Every investment carries risk, but avoiding investing carries another risk, the certainty that inflation slowly reduces the value of idle cash. Intelligent investors don't eliminate risk. They study it, manage it, and let time work in their favor. Fear keeps many people stuck. They wait for the perfect moment, but markets don't wait. The goal is not to avoid risk completely, but to understand it well enough to make informed decisions. Because doing nothing is also a decision, and often the most expensive one. Mistake number 10, thinking only about today. Many financial decisions provide short-term pleasure while creating long-term pain. Wealth belongs to those who consistently sacrifice temporary comfort for permanent opportunity. Every dollar has a choice: satisfy today's desire or build tomorrow's freedom. And the truth is, tomorrow is built quietly through small decisions repeated daily. The coffee you skip, the impulse purchase you avoid, the investment you make instead of spending, all of it compounds over time. Notice something important. None of these mistakes require bad luck. They happen quietly, through ordinary habits repeated over years. That's why changing your financial future rarely begins with earning more money. It begins with changing the way you think about money. The greatest fortunes in history were not built overnight. They were built one disciplined decision at a time. Money doesn't reward appearances. It rewards patience. It doesn't reward emotion. It rewards logic. It doesn't reward excuses. It rewards responsibility. Every financial empire began with someone choosing to think differently from the crowd. While others chased status, they pursued ownership. While others consumed, they invested. While others waited for the perfect moment, they started with what they had. And if you really pay attention, you'll notice something important. It was never about having the perfect conditions. It was always about having the right mindset in imperfect conditions. Think about it. The people you admire financially didn't start with certainty. They started with questions. They started with doubt. They started with limited resources, limited knowledge, and sometimes even limited support. But what separated them from everyone else was simple. They didn't let their starting point define their ending point. Most people fail financially not because they are incapable, but because they are inconsistent. They try something once, don't see results, and quit. But wealth doesn't respond to short bursts of effort. It responds to repetition. It responds to discipline. It responds to habits that are repeated when no one is watching. That's why the small decisions matter more than the big dreams. Skipping unnecessary spending today. Learning instead of consuming mindless entertainment. Saving when it feels uncomfortable. Investing when it feels uncertain. Saying no to instant gratification so you can say yes to long-term freedom. These are the real building blocks of financial success. Remember this: your income may determine where you begin, but your habits determine where you finish. And habits are not built in a day. They are built in moments, in choices, in the quiet decisions you make when there is no pressure, no audience, and no immediate reward. The 10 mistakes you've learned today are not life sentences. They're warnings. and warnings are powerful because they give you something most people never get: awareness before consequence. Every one of them can be replaced with better decisions starting today. You don't need a new identity. You need a new direction. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need to act with discipline even when motivation disappears. Because here's the truth most people avoid: motivation is temporary, but habits are permanent. And your financial future will not be shaped by what you feel like doing. It will be shaped by what you consistently do regardless of how you feel. The future isn't written by luck. It's written by the choices you repeat every single day. And those choices compound. Just like money compounds, so do mistakes, and so do good decisions. One good decision won't change your life, but 1,000 good decisions will. So ask yourself honestly, are your daily actions building freedom or are they building dependency? Are you moving toward ownership or are you staying comfortable in consumption? Because every day you are either building your financial future or delaying it. There is no neutral ground. Knowledge creates opportunity, but action creates results. You can watch every video, read every book, and learn every strategy, but until you apply it, nothing changes. Information without execution is just entertainment, and entertainment will never make you free. So take what you've learned here and apply it immediately. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Start small if you have to, but start for real. If you learned something today, subscribe to OWLCEO Academy for more business and finance lessons. Keep building, keep learning, and most importantly, keep applying. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.